So, Tavern Fame. It's a game of, what is it? Game of strong ales and tall tales. Do you agree with that?
Well, yeah. A lot of tall tales, especially. If
So,
only we could actually drink.
yeah. When I was looking at this game on Kickstarter, I originally thought it was a bluffing game. And it led me to believe that because what people said and on the card, like the characters in the game, they're the ones bluffing. You're not the one bluffing. Right, Nick?
Right. You go off the stats that your character has, and if they have any bonuses or anything towards an enemy, and you try to say if you can kill how many enemies or not. And if you don't, you lose. If you do, you win.
Yeah, so it's a game of statistics. And not just statistics, you have like a dice roll and you have to get a certain number on the dice.
Element of luck there.
Yeah, and then you gotta like guess how lucky you're gonna be. So it's a game of statistics and guessing how lucky you're gonna be. So if you're looking for a game that's like a bunch of dice rolling and guessing how lucky you're gonna be, this is a good game for that. Another game.
It's also very simple.
Oh yeah, the rule book of the game is a page. Like
then there's an example on the back.
And yeah, there's an example on the back. What this game is not is it's not good for a lot of people. Did we get 9? I think we.
I think we had close to 9 or 10.
Yeah, we had 9 people playing the game. The max is 8, but even at 8, that would have been real bad because what happens is there's a good chance that someone's not going to be able to do anything for the whole game. And we had that happen a couple games. I think mostly to Jack. He was kind of quiet to begin with, but like it only passed by him once. I remember in a game where I won. It like passed by him, it got to me, and then it was on me for like the rest of the game because I kept calling and making outrageous like bluffs.
Yeah, in one game I won in 3 turns.
Yeah.
Just because of the luckiness of the turn of the card. My character had both bonuses for 2 of them, and they were harder ones, so that was good. And in that game, I don't think that you got to talk at all, or Jack.
Yeah.
Or even Seamus.
It probably didn't get to that side of the table. So, this game is not made. And the, 8 players is something they added on as a Kickstarter, bonus for reaching a certain amount. So, it wasn't originally intent to be played with so many people. So, I think that's part of the problem. But even at low numbers, there's still a chance that people aren't going to be able to play.
There's less of a chance because...
there's a lot less of a chance.
Because of the fact that you're going to have beers every time. One of the problems is there wasn't enough beers to
when you have too many people, you run out of beers really fast.
Or someone just hoards them all and it just gets real ugly real fast.
Okay,
At one point, 2 guys had 15 beers and there was almost none in the middle.
They were the 1%.
I was the one bluffing every time and I wasn't able to do anything at that point. I had 6 meeples, which are how you score your points. Basically, I couldn't do anything because I had no beers to work with. Whereas they had 15, they weren't bluffing high enough for me to call them out on, because you have, say, 21 dice, and you only have to make 5 4-ups, then you're going to probably make it statistically fine. You're probably going to double what you need, actually.
So that's another thing. We never ran out of meeples, which I thought with so many people, I guess the games go by really fast. As long as people don't tell too long of stories, which did happen a couple times. But
they were interesting at least.
Yeah, one of the win conditions is you run out of meeples in the center, and whoever has the most wins. But that never happened. It always was someone got to 10.
Yeah, and another thing that didn't really happen was people didn't really go around the whole table thinking that one person would be able to do it. Either someone always topped it or someone called him on it.
Yeah, sometimes I called that last game where I was the guard. I just called people who were like, I could kill 3 snakes, which isn't even an enemy in the game. And then I would call them and they would easily make it, so I was out. That probably didn't help that game.
Yeah, but you were RPing as a drunk
I was high.
Drug addicted guy.
Every time I talked I would say I was on a different drug.
And that brings us to probably the biggest part of the game, which is the RPing factor.
Yeah.
All the characters have different pictures on the cards, as you would think. But they're interesting pictures, and they give a lot of personality to that character. So really what you want to do is you want to embody that character, you want to play as that character, and then tell your stories as that character, talk in a voice like that character, and you're going to have the most fun that way is what we found.
Yeah, that last game where you were stalking the ranger.
I was a creepy old cleric,
and then
man.
like later married her. Like we didn't even discuss that
Jack.
that happened.
He was Jack. He was the ranger.
I know.
And then he told me. He gave a completely different story from what I said about the bears, and he was just lying to heck.
It was real weird.
Yeah.
So this game, I would say, is good with less people, and it's more about the storytelling than the actual gameplay, because the gameplay is just rolling dice and
using blue cubes
that allow you to roll more dice. All it is statistics, which is, unless you like math, which most people don't, it's not that fun to just guess on statistics. But it's really about the storytelling, that you embody this character. And I think that's the real prize, the real shining star of this game that makes it worth it. I think it's like $35. Now that might be Australian dollars, because
I'm not sure.
It's Australian. It's something like that. So I think it was worth it.
Yeah, I think it was fun too. If you want a good example of the characters, though, look up either like the sorcerer or the shaman. Those guys have a lot of character.
Oh yeah, that shaman.
The sorcerer just looks like that sniveling evil type.
Welcome to the end of the video. I assume since you're at the end of the video, you didn't hate it. And I also assume that you're a smart, intelligent person who knows how YouTube works. And you know that if you like our stuff, you can click our name below the video, and that'll bring you to our channel. You also know that you can hit the subscribe button, not only below the video, but also the one located on said channel. You also have probably figured out that there will be a playlist link for videos that are much like this one in the description of the video. Lastly, I just want to say thank you for watching the video.